Shawna and Jody here with Real Sisters, Real Talk.
We're glad to have you joining us as we talk about growing in our faith with God.
Hello and welcome back to Real Sisters, Real Talk. I'm Jody here with my sister Shawna, and we are excited to be with you today. Shawna, I wanted to tell you what we did this, well, it was a couple weekends ago, but we took our family to Lake Arrowhead, all 8 of us, grandkids.
Oh, so
kids.
fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. But I have to tell you, which I think is probably kind of funny because of where you live, but like it was the first time that Faye and Jones have ever seen the snow. Faye is 3, Jones is 1. They've never seen the snow. Never, like Faye loves Frozen, the movie. She can sing the songs and does the motions and just so sweet. But it was so fun to take them to the snow. And so it's actually been kind of unseasonably warm here. And so we were worried that all the snow would be gone. There was so much snow. Like I didn't even bring snow boots and stepped out into the snow and went up to my knee in snow.
Oh, that's a lot of snow.
Yeah,
that's legit.
right?
If my face was giving me away there, if you're watching, it's because I was like, summer snow, huh? California snow, eh? That's
Right,
pretty
yeah.
rough. Yeah, no, but that's a lot of snow, Jodes.
Yeah, it was really significant. And so it was a warm weekend, so it was beautiful. Like we had a huge snowball fight and Ty is in shorts and a t-shirt. I had on a jacket, but we got to do the sledding. We got a toboggan, went to the store and bought a toboggan, and Faye got to sled over and over and over again. And we did a huge snowball fight and multiple, just constantly throwing snowballs as we were out playing in the snow, and built a snowman and found sticks for the arms and the nose and rocks for the eye. I mean, just these are all things that we don't get to do, which I know you can do anytime.
Yes.
But it was so much fun. I can't even tell you how much fun we had just playing in the snow and being together as a family. Like got home, and the Monday after we got home, I was like, my heart hurts because all my people are not right here.
Yes. I didn't get to kiss every face today.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hear ya.
Yeah, but it's just kind of funny with
I'm so
your
glad.
experience with snow.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys had such a good time. That is so fun. And we're sitting in the season right now where if you live in a place where the weather is cold and it snows, like when you get to the middle of March, you're so over it. Like it's beautiful. We're ready for sunshine. We're ready for warm temps. It's so funny to me too, because like in the fall, if you have a day that's, well, for me, maybe not everybody, but for me, if you have a day in the fall that's like 50 degrees and sunny, you're kind of like bundled up, right?
Yeah.
But in March, you have a 50-degree sunny day and everybody's sporting their shorts and their short sleeve shirts. And we're like, yeah, spring is here. We just can't wait. But we've been through it, It's been cold, it's been snowy, and we're ready for it. So it's a good season.
Yeah,
oh,
no,
man, yeah.
Us, we're early hitting 80, and so
That's wild.
Okay, sister, I hope that just teases you to get your
I'm coming.
plane ticket bought.
I am coming. I'm coming. I actually was playing around with like Google Flights and trying to figure out the best time to go. And I'm not like super savvy with Google Flights, but I put in like flexible dates and whatnot. And the date that it spit out is a date that I'm in Chicago for work. And I obviously can't go to California. And then it wouldn't let me, like, it was like, nope, that's it, sister. You go then, or you just don't go. And I'm like, aw, like I couldn't get it to give me what would be the next best option. Maybe I need to recruit AI to help me to get tickets to California.
There you go. That is so funny. I love how it like, nope, this is it. And you're like, I don't know how to go around you.
No. We're at a standstill, you and I, because you're not working with me and I don't know how to work with you. So here we are. So yeah, it was tricky business. But yes, I am planning to get that way, hopefully before summer rolls around. Yes,
that would be amazing.
So great.
Yeah, we do get to see you in June because Johnny and I will be coming out for Drayson's wedding, and Emma, of course, too. Like, not just Drayson.
Right. Yay! That's awesome.
We're so
looking
excited.
forward. Looking forward to it, to all being together. Hey, speaking about seasons and just kind of like where we're sitting right now, we I don't know, maybe it was a month ago-ish, we talked about Lent, and we are sitting in Lent season right now. And I think, we talked about how to get into it, ways that you can prepare your heart for celebrating Jesus's resurrection. But I feel like it's been a while since we talked about it. What do you think about doing like I don't know, just catching up with each other and how it's going?
I love it. I love it because you know what? I think we're so motivated in the beginning when we start the Lent season. It's like, okay, this is God, what you're calling to me to, and I'm going to be faithful with this. And then sometimes it just, weeks go and we don't quite mean for it to scoot by.
Right.
So why don't we update on what we shared, how we were going to enter into the Lent season, what we felt like God was inviting us to. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I'll go first if you're cool with that. Let me start with the
Absolutely.
confession because I am very, some people, like I have to tell you a story quick. I had a friend who she was sharing with me that she was really mad at someone, and so she keyed her car. And she said it just like that. And I was like, "Gah!" Like
No.
if I don't water the ferns, I feel guilty. You know what I mean? Like I can't handle that. So I'm a very guilt-ridden individual. So let me go first and get this off my chest.
Hang on one second, though. We just need to note that we do not condone at any time damaging somebody else's property ever.
No.
But
no.
anyway, we're moving on.
No, not a good thing. But no, okay, so pre-Lent, I prayed about this and I asked the Lord to lead me and guide me in it. And I felt like there were three things that I was going to just abstain from throughout this season of Lent: coffee, alcohol, and sugar. So then I went to Kenya, and somewhere on my trip to Kenya, I ended up messing up my neck. I don't know what I did entirely, and I'm not fully healed yet, but I've had neck pain since February 1. So it's been a while. And with the neck pain has come headaches, and they're like in these bones right at the base of your skull right here, like, so constant headaches. And so I really just couldn't see putting myself through caffeine withdrawal while I was dealing with the headaches for my neck pain. So I adjusted it to 1 cup of coffee in the morning, the end. And that's the extent of my caffeine. No other caffeinated drinks on any level at any time. So there we go. I feel so much better. I just had to say that.
How much caffeine do you usually drink?
I usually have at least 2 cups in the morning, maybe like a right after lunch cup. So maybe 3 a day.
Oh, wow. You're serious about your caffeine.
A little judgy there, sister. Oh, wow. Look at you. That's a lot of caffeine.
I did not mean it judgy. I mean, let's just put my caffeine out there. I have at least 1 cup in the morning, and then I will probably make a cup of decaf just because that makes me feel better about drinking my second cup of coffee. And I will have a cup of tea as well. So it's not like I don't do the caffeine, but
these are my wayward ways that came about through doing the morning show. Yeah, when you do the morning show and you wake up at 3:45, you start caffeinating rather early, and caffeinate throughout the show. But yeah, no. So I've limited myself to 1 cup of caffeine in the morning, 1 cup of coffee, and then I move on to decaffeinated tea. Actually, decaffeinated green tea is my thing right now. But yeah, the purpose of all of this, of course, is to draw near to the heart of God and to sense His presence in a stronger way. Jodes, I'm feeling the benefits of the things that I'm not allowing myself. And I didn't really think about how to articulate this. Okay, if this sounds funny, say so, and we'll just unpack it, right? Yeah. I'm pretty disciplined. I'm a fairly disciplined person. Yep. So for me to say I'm not going to do this and then not do that, that's harder for some people than it is for others. And I feel like I'm bragging in saying that, but I'm kind of a stickler of when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But there have been so many times where I'm like, oh, I would really like to have some sugar right now. Or, oh, I'd really like to, fill in the blank, have another cup of caffeine or another cup of coffee in the afternoon, or stop at Starbucks and pick something up, whatever. And it's been sweet in those times to recognize not only do I not need it, but man, do I want you more than I want anything, Lord, and draw near to me in this moment. And I've increased my I set a timer for 5 minutes, but I've increased my little pockets of time where I just sit with the Lord and try not to even control the conversation, but just be in his presence and receive from him. And I just feel this, like I'm falling in love with him in deeper ways.
I love that. Do you know, the day this podcast comes out, I'm actually teaching on Exodus 33 for Women of the Word. So that on the 17th and the 18th. And it's the part of the story of the Israelites when Moses has been up on Mount Sinai for 40 days now, and the Israelites just decide that was a little bit too long, and so they have Aaron build them a calf, and gold calf, and they worship this gold calf, and then Moses comes down, throws the 10 commandments, and then it comes to Exodus 33 where now Moses has to like deal with what they did, and he is talking to the Lord, and he's saying, Lord, Lord says, we're going to move you on. You take those people, your people, and go, but I'm not going with you. And Moses is like, no, you can't do that. So he's kind of in that little banter back and forth with the Lord. And they talk about the tent of the meeting, and there's so much meat in there. It's so good. But then you get to the very end, and God's like, okay, I'll go with you. And Moses is like, great, God, will you show me your presence? Like all this great things is not enough, but God, would you reveal yourself more to me? And there's this desire for intimacy with God that is so deep in him. He's like, more, Lord, more. And I was so challenged as I've been studying for this is, do I have that? Shawna, do I more, Lord, please more. I want to know you more. I want to walk more intimately with you, Lord. Like, is that the desire of my heart? And so what you just shared just triggered all of that in me, like more, we want that intimacy with the Lord. We want to seek that. We want to pursue that relationship with him. That's so beautiful. And if that's what this Lent season gives, praise God. That's a great thing.
Like I will never eat sugar again for the rest of my life as long as I could just keep being, if it increases my hunger for him.
Yeah, right.
I will do without. And I'm a girl who loves the cinnamon roll and and a bowl of ice cream. I have found my way around the bowl. Oh my goodness. Okay, real quick, because I just said the word ice cream. I told you about my accidental ice cream purchase, right? My accidental ice cream attachment purchase. Okay,
yeah,
so I told
just a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
But before you move on, I have to tell you, a friend of mine stopped me and she's like, hey, I listened to the podcast and I put that in my cart. I think I'm going to buy it. I'm like, me too. I want it too. So anyway, keep going.
I literally, yeah. So I was telling my small group about it, and we were, I was telling about the recipe and how good it was. And I'm not going to be able to find this quick enough. I was just going to pull up the text real quick. But one of the girls in the small group was like, oops, I accidentally just bought an ice cream attachment.
I love it. I could pull that off if my husband didn't listen to us, but he does.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All you ice cream eating animals out there, you're welcome.
But you have a good recipe that you've used.
Yes. Okay. Here's one. This is so off topic, but this is fun.
I know.
Okay. So this is not sugar free, but it's real close. And it's 1 cup of Fairlife chocolate milk. That's where your sugar is going to come in the chocolate milk. So 1 cup of Fairlife chocolate milk, 1 scoop of protein powder, and 1 tablespoon of chocolate pudding that has no sugar. So like no sugar chocolate pudding mix, and just take 1 tablespoon out of there. Mix it all up, and then get your ice cream attachment going, and go ahead and pour it in about, depending on how much you fill it with, anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. Bada bing, bada boom, you get ice cream.
How many does that serve?
That's just like Okay, you're going to judge me again right here, but that will be enough for me.
Because it didn't sound like that much.
No, but no, yeah, that's kind of like a single serving in my opinion, but
Fair. I just have to
it's
tell
really
you,
good.
ice cream has always been one of my favorites, and I don't really eat it anymore. We don't even keep it in the house anymore. But I remember when Kellen, Tyler's wife, when they were dating and she came over one time, I remember saying, "Do you guys want ice cream?" She's like, "Yeah, I like having ice cream here because the servings are big." I was like, "That's how I roll with ice cream."
Do you remember when we were little? I have this memory when we were little of Dad like pulling out all the bowls and putting them on the kitchen counter and just like scooping ice cream into every bowl. I'm like, yeah, buddy, go Dad,
Yep.
go. So I think
Yeah.
that's why we love ice cream the way that we do. It's
Probably.
nostalgic
Oh,
as well
our
as
dad
delicious.
loved ice cream. Loved ice cream. He would tell us he
Mhm.
made a protein smoothie and he would make it with ice cream. So,
Well,
okay.
was he calling the ice cream the protein, or was he putting protein powder in there but adding a scoop of ice cream?
No, he started with ice cream and he would call it a protein shake. And we're like, that is a
Oh,
milkshake.
yeah,
But
that's
you added protein
yeah.
powder. That would not be a meal,
Gotcha.
Dad.
That's
He did it a
funny.
lot. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
fun,
so
fun.
back on
Okay,
track. Little accountability,
here we go.
sister.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Remind me what it was that you gave up for Lent, or what you were going to change, and how it's going.
Yeah. So I didn't really give anything up. I do fast on a weekly rhythm. And so I am definitely keeping that as my weekly rhythm. Um, but was adding like 30 minutes of silence and solitude, of just
Mm.
time spent with the Lord. And so what that has, it hasn't looked perfect. Um, but it's kind of looked in a couple different ways. So I will say now, kind of checking in at the midway point, typically it's been happening as I go out for a walk, which is beautiful. It's like, honestly, I did it this morning. We didn't even know this was a topic we were going to talk about today, but just no headphones, no, just me and the Lord. And there's times when I was talking out loud with him, and there was times when I was just quiet walking with him. Um, and it was so sweet to be in his presence. So, we got to go to a prayer and worship service, Johnny and I did this week, and that got to spend some time just sitting in the presence of God. That was really, really good and really fruitful. And so it's looked different on the different weeks. Probably the one thing I haven't done yet that I still am committing to do before we get to Lent is to literally just sit in a chair in his presence for 30 minutes. And so, yeah, so that I still want to take it to that level, but I have been practicing it, and it has been a very sweet, sweet time, and I'm really grateful for that. Oh, I would say even to the extent of, like, when this morning when I was going to go for my walk, I said, headphones or no, Lord. And I felt like he's like, nope. And I just thought, that's a question I want to ask every morning. I walk every morning.
Yes.
I walk the dog. And so that's a question I want to ask every morning.
I'm glad that you said that out loud, because that is one of the things. This is so interesting, Jode. This is not unusual for us, but that is one of the things that seems to be increasing, is like my ongoing conversation with the Lord, or like the dialogue and the back and forth, like headphones or no headphones, like, nope. So I went to a conference yesterday, really, really great conference in the Grand Rapids area. It's called Recourage. And when I was leaving in the morning, I was like, Lord, I know that I typically look for you in the speaking. Like, I'm a big note taker, and I'm always like looking for, Lord, what do you have for me? And what do you want me to know? But I'm like, I know that you can speak to me through the worship. I know that you can speak to me through conversations that I have, people that I meet. I want to spend the day with you, whatever that looks like, and however you want that to be. And I got to the conference, and I thought the whole reason I was going to this conference was really going to be about connecting with my colleagues. But I got there and I couldn't find them. And I ended up sitting by myself. And it ended up being such a gift for me to have this. It felt, even though I was in a room with, I don't even know how many people, but it just felt very intimate. Um,
Yeah.
and uninterrupted. There were no conversations of anybody leaning in to the right or to the left and saying, with whatever. It just was like just me and Jesus. During the worship, he started to speak to me. I pulled out my journal and I started writing down what I was hearing from him. During the worship, there were conversations that were had where it was like, oh, the Lord is so in this. Like this is a ministry moment, and we're just grabbing some trail mix. Like, you know what I mean? It's just so
Yeah.
cool to see. But the increased conversation throughout the day of activity with the Lord, and Lord, do you want me to A or do you want me to B? Do you want, these kinds of things. And they served ice cream at the conference, Jodes. That was a sad moment.
Oh, I was so excited for you. Oh, yes,
No,
you
don't be
couldn't have
excited for
it.
me because I couldn't have any. But no, it was yeah, and then my friends came back from getting the ice cream and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that was so good. What kind did you have? Did you have the macadamia nut caramel?" And then I was like, "Oh,
But
no."
honestly, that's such a good point because in the moment too, like, yeah, we can deny ourselves that. Who are we when we deny ourselves what we want, right? So that can either be a moment
Yeah.
of, "Are you kidding me? It was something I want so bad," or it could be, "Okay, Lord, all right, this is about you and me, isn't it? This is about me
And the
being
thing
mindful of
is,
who you are."
honestly, do I love ice cream? Yeah. Did I want some?
Yeah.
You betcha. Did I miss out on anything? No. I didn't miss out
Right.
on anything. I mean, just, ugh, we fool ourselves into, I mean, we've talked so much about comfort, right? Like into thinking that we just should have what we want when we want it. And
Yeah.
there's a sweet work that happens when we tell ourselves no and make ourselves deal with it.
That is so true. That is so true. I want to circle back to part of our conversation that we just had. Um, we talked about like headphones or no, Lord, what show me what you have for me, and then you started journaling, and I just want to talk about what that might look like sometimes because I think we can think like I just want to like clarify like when I said headphones or no this morning, Lord, I didn't hear a booming voice resound through my house saying no headphones, Jody. Like I said headphones or no, Lord, and I just felt this sense of kind of like a sense inside of me of no, I want to be with you, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like okay, Lord, then I'm going to, and so I can just choose to walk into that. So it wasn't like headphones or no, Lord. Okay, I think that was a no, Lord. Headphones or no. What do you want me to do, God? And my headphones or no. What am I supposed?
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Right.
I
Right.
got the sense and I walked in it. Like, okay, no
Mm-hmm.
headphones. And I get that that's an easy thing because there's not a huge consequence if I walk out without headphones and I don't get to listen. Like there's not a huge consequence there. So when we're
Mm-hmm.
discerning to hear God's voice, there's more weight to it or more risk to it. But can I tell you, this is how we practice. This is how we
Mm-hmm.
practice hearing the Lord and walking in what he has said to us. We need to have these little conversations with the Lord so that when the big decision comes and we're like, Lord, I need wisdom. We have a big decision coming with our mom right now. And we are praying about that. And I truly believe with all my heart that God is leading us in the decisions about selling a house and that God is going to lead us in the answer that he has for us, who is we are supposed to choose because we practice this, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the small things too. So I just wanted to name that. Like, I think sometimes we can get so, like, we can say, I heard the God say no. And it's like, how did you hear him? How did you know it was him? Yes, all of it. But it's just learning how to practice that in the small things.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think, thank you, Jodes, for unpacking that. I think part two, trusting that when you ask the Lord something, that he is going to answer you. Because I think that's where the second guessing comes in. Like, Lord, did you say yes or no? If you
Yep.
don't feel like you have a clear sense, if you said, Lord, headphones, yes or no, and you don't sense any direction, that just may be the Lord saying, you get to choose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
Yep.
we overcomplicate it and make it
Okay.
harder on
Can I give you
ourselves than what it needs to be.
Yeah. Another example from this morning, as I was
Yeah.
out walking with the Lord and quiet with the Lord, he laid a sweet friend on my heart. And so I prayed for her and a verse
Mm-hmm.
came to mind. So I literally said into my phone, set a reminder for when I arrive home to text this friend and send that verse to her. And so when I got home, I texted that verse to her. And as I was sitting, um, I had texted that out, and then I was kind of transitioning into my work day, and I felt like the Lord gave me another verse, and I was like, "Oh, interesting." So I opened up my notes app and I typed it in, and I said, "For future for this friend." I put her name on my notes app and put the verse because I thought, I don't know, Lord, I just sent her a verse. I don't know. And so I just typed it into my notes app thinking maybe in a couple of days I should send that one out was my thinking. And then she responded with, from what I had texted her, shared how that impacted her and a little bit further about, kind of, we were talking about speaking truth over lies um, and allowing the enemy to work in her mind. And that verse, Philippians 4:4-8 is what had come to mind. And it's, bring it all to the Lord and then focus on whatever is true, whatever is right, whatever is trust. Like we need to put our mind on those things. And so I was like, oh, it was for now, Lord. So I quick texted that verse out to her, but he gave it to me before. And I knew it was for this friend. And so that's the kind of stuff. Like, did I know I was supposed to send it out right away? No. But I knew that it was from the Lord. And so I just typed it into my phone so I could hold on to that. So even that kind of thing, like he teaches us in it.
Thank you for that too, because there's a learning in that as well. Because I think we get excited to hear from the Lord, and maybe your first thought is, the Lord gave me something for so-and-so. I'm going to give it to him. Maybe he just wanted you to pray that over them. Maybe that was not meant for you to send or to communicate. Maybe that was just meant to direct you in how to pray. Or, it's just an ongoing, right? The continuous conversation with him and letting him lead. And we want, just like when we're raising our kids, we want them to learn the consequences for their actions when they're 18 months old, when they're 2.5, the consequences for hitting someone when you're 2 are a lot different than the consequences for hitting someone when you're 21.
Yeah.
We want our kids to learn, what's appropriate and what's right and good when the consequences are not so life-altering.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gone in a big circle today, but it's been fun to process this together. And honestly, our learnings are coming out of this intentional Lent season, which is so beautiful because, that's just how God is, right? Sweet gifts.
Good
so
stuff.
We got to be paying attention.
Yeah, it's good to be with you. Thanks for spending this time with us. It's always a joy to have you on the journey with us. And I really do believe that as we keep learning from Jesus, we keep applying these things to our everyday lives, that he's making us more like him. Oh, isn't that precious? We serve a real God, and he really loves you.